We are continuing on our series of motion graphics in Unreal Engine. In this video, we are going to learn what is Niagara system, how you can create Niagara system, collisions in Niagara, scaling and color of particles in Niagara, and also we are going to learn lot of more stuffs about Niagara system and how it is working. So without any delay, let's get started. I have opened a new level from the project motion design which we have created earlier in the previous video where we learned how you can use motion design for Unreal Engine. Now let's learn how to use Niagara for motion design. So for doing that, we are first going to learn how you can use Niagara systems in Unreal Engine. What are the basic parameters that you need to take care of, and after that we can jump into the project itself. So let's just go into content drawer here. Let's just go to our motion design folder. Let's just right click and create a new folder here. So let's just create a new folder and name it to Niagara. Okay, let's just open this. Let's just create a new Niagara system. In order to create a new Niagara system, you need to right click here. You need to click on Niagara system. And as soon as you do it, you will find lots of template. If you are new to my channel, please go and watch the previous videos. I have created a whole series on Niagara fluids. Okay, you can watch and learn how you can create fire, how you can create water simulations with foam and mist and all that stuff. Right now, we are going to go to template here and we are going to create a empty emitter. There are already some templates that are provided by Unreal Engine which you can use to create various effects. But right now we are going to create a empty emitter here and let's just create it. Let's just name it to Niagara system. So NS underscore first particle system. Okay. Now let's just double click it. And as soon as you do it, you will find a Niagara system layout here. So let's just take it over here. And now you can see we are having a timeline here. We are having a particle preview here. We are having a particle system as well. Okay, and you can see we are having a property. We are having a emitter update. But right now you cannot see any particles because we haven't added them to our scene yet. Okay, now as you guys can see, we are having this HDRI here. Let's say you want to preview your particles in black background. You can do that as well. In order to get black background instead of HDRI, you need to go to Windows. You need to go to preview scene settings. And here you will find a lighting tab and an environment tab. Just open the environment tab. Okay, you can see we are using this environment, this HDRI here. So just click here. And now you can see we are having this gray background, but I want a black BG here. But I want a black BG here. So I will just do something like this and I will press OK here. And now you can see we are having this black background instead of HDRI. Now let's start spawning some particles here. So how you can add particles into your scene? For that you need to go to emitter update here. You need to click here and you need to spawn the particles. Okay, so write spawn and here you will find there is spawn burst instantaneous, spawn per unit and spawn rate. Okay, let's just click on spawn rate right now and you can see it's compiling. And if I click on play here, you can see we are not emitting any particles right now. Okay, if I go into details, you can see the spawn rate is set to 0 here. So let's just do 100 here. And now you can see we are spawning 100 particles into our Niagara system. Okay. And you can see this particle by this bright white color. So right now it's spawning 100 particles in the same place. We are going to add gravity and all that stuff in a bit. But let's just understand first how you can set the lifetime and all that stuff. For that you need to go to initialize particles. And here you will find the lifetime. Right now you can see the particles will born till 5 seconds, and here you can see the particle counts as well. So after 5 seconds you can see there are no particles that are born here. So let's just increase this to, let's say, 10 and press enter, and now you will see it will go till 10 seconds and my particle will keep on increasing here because they are now having a lifetime of 10 seconds. Okay, so let's just go to 5 again. Now you can see here we are using a sprite renderer. Okay, so that's the reason we are seeing this circle. So let's just make it bigger here. And now you can see we are having this color mode as well. So if I set it to direct set, you can see this white color we are getting from here. Now let's just click here. We can change the color as well. Okay, so let's just do this orangish type of color and press OK. And now you can see we are generating this orange color particles here with the help of sprite. Okay, now you can see there are more tabs like sprite size mode as well. We are going to look into that as well in some time. Okay, then you have the rotation as well. Okay, but let's just go to our next settings, which is adding gravity here. So in order to add gravity to the whole particle system, you need to go to particle update and you need to type here gravity and you will find a gravity force. And as soon as I do that, you can see it's giving me a red color error. It's telling that the following error is there and you cannot solve forces and gravity. So in order to resolve this, just click on fix issue. And now you can see we are getting this particle here. Okay, and they are going downwards in the same line because we haven't done any turbulence or something like that. Now you can add a gravity force in the particle spawn as well. But the major difference between particle update and particle spawn is that in particle update, the emitters will basically have all the things that you give here like gravity, turbulence and all that stuff till they die basically. So till the end of their lifetime. And when you click on particle spawn and edit, it will be just for that particular time. So that's the major difference between particle spawn and particle update here. Now let's just go to our particle update and let's just add a collision. So why you need to add a collision? So let's just save it here. Let's just go back to our basic start map Niagara and let's just add that Niagara system. So in order to add it to your scene, you just need to drag and drop it here and just do something like this. And now you can see we have added this here. So let me just increase my camera speed here. And let's just take it upwards. Okay, and now you can see we are basically added this Niagara system here. Okay, this is not looking good. We are going to rectify it in some time. But let's just do one thing first, because if I go downwards, you can see it's going beyond that flow level. So we need to add a collision into our Niagara system here. So in order to do it, you need to go to particle system. And as I told you, we need the gravity and we need the collision till end of the particle system. So let's just click here and let's just search for collision. Okay, and let's just click on the simple collision itself. And now let's just compile and save our scene here. Okay, and now you can see we are having this collision. So if I go here, now you can see here we are now colliding with our floor. So you can see here if I go downwards, you can see we are not getting that particles downward as well because now we are colliding with our floor here. Okay, let's just bring it downwards because it's way up. So let's just bring it downwards here. And now you can see, now in order to see it more clearly, what we can do, we can just adjust the lighting a bit. So let's just press Ctrl L and let's just do a evening scene here. Okay, so you can see the particles that are visible here. And now you can see we have added this fog. So in order to do that, you can remove it as well. Okay, we can just delete the exponential height fog here and we can also delete the sky sphere. And now you can see it's looking something like this here. Okay, now let's just do one thing. Let's just now do a random spawning here. Okay, because right now you can see it's having a straight line here. Now how you can do that? In order to do that, you just need to go to particle system and now we need to add what we say a sphere emission or something like that. Okay, so we can emit it from here. Now how you can do that? It is really easy. You need to go to particle spawn because as I told you, particle spawn is from starting. Okay, it just gets from the start point, but if you want it for lifetime, you need to have the particle update. But we need to spawn the particles from the sphere from the start itself. So we are going to go to particle spawn, click on the plus icon here and let's just search here for location. Okay, and you will be having a shape location here. Okay, just click on that. Okay, you will find it here in the location. And as soon as I do it, you can see it's by default set to sphere and the sphere radius is set to 100 here. Okay, now let's just save it here. Okay, you cannot see it here right now. Okay, it's a bug maybe, because if I go here, I can see here. Okay, and now you can see it's looking something like this here. So now if I move here, something like this, you can see our particles are basically emitting from our emitter here. Okay, and it's emitting from a sphere. So now you can see we are getting this result due to this. Okay, so you can see it here as well. Now let's just go again to our particle system. Now let's say you want to have the size to be bigger, or you want to have maybe random scale and all that stuff. So it's really easy to do that as well. Just go to initialize particle, and here why we are going to use this sprite attribute, because we are using a sprite renderer here. So if I go to my sprite size mode here, okay, let's just play it here. Okay, now let's just go to our sprite size mode and let's just set it to uniform. Okay, and now you can see our sprite size is set to 10 here. So if you can see our particles are now seen here. Okay, so what we can do, we can just zoom in here as well. Okay, I'm just going to go here as well. Okay, and now you can see if I click on play here, you can see we are emitting the size of 10 here. How I can know that? Because when I go here, now you can see our particles are much bigger here. Okay, so this is how I can know that my particle size is now increased. Okay, so let's say if I do instead of 10, let's say 20. So now the size will be double. You can see here as well, and you can see here as well. Okay, let's just move it upwards, and now you can see here. Okay, so let's just go to our first particle system here, and let's just do a random. So if you are if you are a user who have learned Niagara fluids from me, you know how to do it. You just need to click on this, and you need to add a random range float, and here you can see the size is from 0 to 1. So now we cannot see here, but let's just do maybe from 5 to 10 here. Okay, so minimum size will be 5 and maximum size will be 10. And if I compile and save it again, and let me just go to my level here, and now you can see it's basically from 5 to 10 here. Okay, now if you want to control it much further in the scale, you can do it as well. So let's just reset it here. Okay, so let's just click here, and now you can see we are using this 10, but instead of uniform, I am going to go to unset again, and now you can see we are not seeing anything. We are just getting this particle size, which is by default. Okay, now let's just go here, and now let's just go to our particle update, and let's just add a scale, and here you will find a scale sprite. Okay, so scale sprite size, because we are using a sprite renderer. Okay, and now you can see it starts from 0 and it's go still 1 here. And if I go here as well, okay, if I save and go here, you can see it's basically having nothing here. But if I go again here, and if I go to my initialize particles, and if I do a uniform size of 10, let's say, and if I go here, now you can see it's starting from 0 and it's going till 1 here. So it's basically having the size of 0, and it's when it is falling down, it is having the size of 10 here. Okay, so it starts with 0 size and it goes till 10 size. So it's from 0 to 1 here. Okay, this is not the size here. It's basically a curve. So on 0, the size will be 0, and on 1, the size will be basically 10. Okay, so let's say I want to give a curve here. So it starts from 0, then it goes to 1, and again when it ends in the lifetime, it goes to 0 again. So right click here, and you can add a key here. Okay, and you can give the value here. So let's just give a value of 1, and here on the 1 I am going to give a value of 0. So it starts with 0, it goes to 1, and again it's end with 0. And now let's say I want to smooth this curve out. You can do it easily. Just just zoom it out a bit. Okay, sorry, Control Z. Just zoom it out a bit, select all the nodes and right click here, and just change the key from linear to auto, and now you can see you are having this curve. And there is also a shortcut key for this. If you right click here, you can see it's 1 key here, so you can press the 1 key and you can get that result as well. So let's just save it here. And now if you see, okay, you can see the bouncing as well. So it starts from 0, then it gets to 1, and when it's dying, it again goes to 0. So here you can see the result as well. Okay. Now before ending the video, let me just quickly show you one more stuff. So let's say you want to basically increase this glow here of the color. So you need to go to particle system again. You need to go to initialize particle and just make sure that the color here is having the value of 1 by default, but you can take it up to, let's say, 5. And now you can see this gradient type of stuff. So what this will do, this will take the value to much higher than your current saturation level. So now you can see our glow is really good. So if I press Ctrl L and do something like this, okay, now you can see the result here as well. Okay, so this is looking really good. Now let's say you want to change the color to a gradient or something like that. You can do that as well. Okay, for that again you need to go to your particle system here. You need to go to particle update because we want it till lifetime. And let's just search here for color. Okay, so if I do a color, you can see we are having this color Niagara. Just click on that. And now you can see again we are having this white color here. Okay, because now we are overriding that system here. So now let's say you want to have a gradient according to the speed that they are falling. You can do that as well. Just open this. Okay, just click here and you can see we are having color from curve. Okay, we are having a random range linear color. So let's do a color from curve. Okay, and now you can see we are having this white to white. Okay, but here white is having a 1 transparency and here a white is having a 0 transparency. So basically what is happening, if I go here, if I save it out, compile and save, and if I go here, and now you can see basically when they are born they are having a opacity of 0, and when they are falling they are having the opacity of 1. Okay, so that's why you can see this result here. So let's say if I click here and I do a opacity of 1 here. Okay, and if I go again here, and now you can see basically they are born with the opacity of 0 and dying with born with the opacity of 1 and dying with the opacity of 1. So you can play with the values as well. So if I double click here, you can see I have added this node, and let's say I do a 0.5 here. Okay, a 0.5 transparency. So they are okay. I right click. If you want to delete it, you can delete as well. Okay, just press the delete key and it will get deleted. So if I save it again here, okay, and compile it and go here, now you can see they are basically born. Okay, and they are having a opacity of 1, then they are having a opacity of 0. So you cannot see in the between here. When they are falling, you can see they are basically vanishing, and again they are getting the opacity of 1 here. Okay, now let's just change the color according to the speed. So if I double click it here, I give a color of yellow, and here I am going to give a color of, let's say, orange. Okay, something like this. And if I press OK here, and now you can see we are getting a beautiful result. So let's just do a opacity. Let's just remove this right now by pressing the delete key. So now you can see, let's just make it more prominent. So let's just double click it here, and I'm going to go for a blue color here. So you can see the gradient here. Okay, so now you can see they are falling with the having the color blue, and when they are basically dying, they are dying with the color of orange here. So let me just do a darker lighting as well, so you can see here properly. Okay, so now you can see what I am telling about. Okay, now you can increase the particles as well. Okay, so if you want to increase the particle, just go to your spawn rate from 100. Let's just take 1000 here. Okay, and now you can see we are emitting 1000 particles, and I can move my system from left to right, and you can see we are getting this result. Okay, and we are going to use this system when we are going to learn motion graphics. We are going to use this Niagara system. And why we are using this? Because you can apply materials, different materials to this Niagara system. Motion graphic design tools are also a Niagara simplified version, because now you can see we are seeing the similarities that we are having in the motion design tool as well. I hope you like this video. I will see you in the next video. If you like my video, please press that like button, share it with your friends who wants to learn Unreal Engine, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye guys. Take care.